joined by NerIda Vargas, who is a Mexican migrant leader in the United States. Hello, NerIda, can you hear us? Welcome to Mexico Decides.
Hi, thank you for having me in your program.
It's a pleasure. So tell us, how have you lived this election day?
It's very historical for us. It's the first time in the United States that Mexican election is being placed, and the 23 Mexican consulates in the whole world. 9 of those consulates are in California, which is where we live. In California, we have a Mexican consulates. There have been a lot of the people that they come to fight for their rights to vote, and we are very pleased to have a lot of Mexicans that they decide in the future that we're gonna have first time in history election a woman as a president of Mexico.
That is clear, and of course this is an election that will have a huge impact in the region. So I wanted to break down a little bit what are the options for international audience, what are the options that are at stake here in the Mexican election. So let's begin by watching a little material from Claudia Sheinbaum, and then you'll tell us your opinion on this candidate. Let's go with Claudia Sheinbaum.
She's a doctor, scientific, and she is very pleasure. She was here in Los Angeles, California, last year in October 2023. I was there and to listen to her information that what she's planning to do for all the Mexicans. Even though that we are in the United States, we still Mexicans before migrants. We are Mexicans, and we need to have a government that listen to us too. And she's one of the very important leaders that we have since 1990s in Mexico. So she is being really good to listen to all the information that and the needs that we have for all the families and community that we have in this 52 Mexican consulates that we always need for all our process, the documentation that we as a Mexican we need to pursue in the United States.
And NerIda, these elections have been widely regarded as an election really on the continuity of the project, the political project of Andrés Manuel López Obrador, and that is what's at stake with that and the opposition. What is your view on this idea of watching these elections as really a quest of the continuity of this project?
That's true. That's the continuation. Dr. Sheinbaum is the continuation of the government that we need for Mexico, because we need to make a stop down all the corruption they've been doing. So for anyway is election and democracy, we need to have a democracy, even though whoever it is, when continuation, when Dr. Sheinbaum, she will also continue his work. So the voice is in the Mexicans. Whoever we decide, if we decide to continue his work, President Obrador, or we want to have a change and learning for what we have in these 6 years and change it for a good, or what we decide to do a continuation.
Now, NerIda, these elections are also particular in terms of the opposition, really. Both traditional parties from Mexico have gathered together to face the ruling Morena and the coalition that in which it takes part. So what is your take? How would you explain to an international audience? How can we understand the opposition, the Mexican opposition in these elections?
The engineer Xochitl, she is very social activist at the beginning of his political life. She was very good in for the Mexican Native Indians, and she was a strategy for also changing in the nutritional for kids. She has a lot of good programs too. So the work that she has to do is to change and learn for all the mistakes that previous government they did. And like I'm saying, for us, being in outside of Mexico doesn't take us any rights. So we need to have the right to decide, because we're still continuing going and providing with all the money that we send to Mexico. We the power for the border community, border economics. We provide to the Mexican economic during the COVID-19 a lot of help. Of course, we are really a lot of economic help in the U.S. because we are the workers that we've been providing economic and moving in the United States too. So Xochitl is very she is a business owner, so she knows that she needs to provide employment to also to the Mexican people, so they stay in Mexico and they don't have to immigrate to the United States.
And now we have a third option in these elections, even though polls are saying that it would be the third runner-up to the presidency. Also, Jorge Álvarez Maínez is competing. How would you describe his position, his candidacy in this election?
I'm being lucky because I meet all three as a leader migrant, as a leader Mexican migrant in the United States. So I had the opportunity to meet with all three in different ways and meetings that we have here. We listen to them. So mine is really younger, very younger, enthusiastic candidate. He has a lot of potential with the younger people, even with the kids. A lot of the kids know his publicity that he has when he's a song for being in a president election is all the kids in Mexico, they know the song, and also a lot of other people in other countries, and they know their song. They're really popular song that being played in place for his candidacy. And he is really younger. He has a lot of potential. He's very smart, and probably in the future he has a lot of things to do for Mexico. I think right here he came a little bit late in the election, but he is a really smart guy. I know him, and he's gonna do a lot of potential in the future, even though if he's not as a president, probably because he has not too much popularity in his party, but probably in the future he will. I'm pretty sure.
Now, NerIda, as a Mexican migrant leader in the United States, of course, the relationship between Mexico and the United States is also always a very relevant topic to understand Mexico and its role in the region. What can we expect in the terms of the different political positions that these options have in terms of how they would affect the relationship with the United States and the migration issue?
Yes, that's true. We have to have the opportunity to choose really well who wants to represent our Mexico, because that also affects our relationship for all them families and Mexican migrants that we have here in the United States. And of course, we have election also in November 5th in the United States. So it's very, very important the person who win in Mexico today. And we probably know in 3 hours or 4 hours the pre-results. But it's very important for the relationship and also for all the 11 million undocumented Mexican immigrants that we have here in the United States. It's very important for us to have a leader from Mexico that really fight for us and also represent us and defend us when we need it.
Excellent. Thank you, NerIda, for your input in this important date for Mexico and, of course, for the region. It's a pleasure to have you here with us.
Thank you very much, and thank you for your time, and Viva Mexico.
Exactly. So that was NerIda Vargas, Mexican migrant leader in the United States. And we continue in this special edition of